she's about to explain why Jeffrey Epstein wasn't a pedophile. Okay.
His view, who was there for a lot of this,
Right.
but that he was into the barely legal type.
The barely legal type. No, he wasn't.
He liked 15-year-old
15 is barely legal to Megyn Kelly.
girls.
Stop it.
Right. Guys, do you understand that the barely legal means legal, but barely? Like, you can't, 15 is illegal. 18 is legal. If you just turned 18 yesterday, you would be barely legal. Legal, but barely, because it just happened. Do you get that? She is describing a 15-year-old girl as being barely legal. She is super illegal, actually. Conservatives are now defending Epstein. Yes, seriously. Video by the amazing Lucas. Okay, I mean, I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised at the same time, man. I mean, these people, they have no morals. They will hold the line nowhere. Okay, let's see.
Lineage of evil.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh my goodness. So there was one point in time that I used to believe that, hey, no matter you're Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Independent, no matter your philosophy, your political beliefs, doesn't matter, that we can all agree that messing with kids is bad.
Yeah.
Whether they're kids, teens, children, whatever you want to call them, that messing with them was bad.
For sure.
Any type of sexual deviancy with these individuals was a bad thing. That we can all agree that's bad. You need to go to the sun.
No, definitely. I thought we were all on the same page where this is concerned. I thought fucking with minors was sick and fucking wrong, and we all agreed on that. We would disagree on everything else, but this was the one place I thought everybody was on the same page. I guess not.
It needs to happen. You need to be locked up. You need a chair. You need an injection, whatever. It seems that all of us agree on this, except MAGA.
Come on now, dog.
I don't know.
Wait, I thought MAGA was the whole protect the kids party, right? What about the kids? What about the children? What about the women? Right? Isn't that their shtick? What's going on?
I don't know what to tell you, but this is a surefire way to know that you're in a cult. If you happen to be on the side where you're trying to run obstacle for, or you're trying to explain when it comes to someone messing with kids, you may be in a cult.
You're a demon.
Don't know what to tell you. Or
demon.
you are just completely morally bankrupt.
You're evil.
It really goes to show that Trump was actually right when it comes to his support. How he's talking about how he can shoot someone in the middle of the day and he wouldn't lose a single vote.
They say, I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
He's right.
I used to believe that was hype.
He's right. That his followers are exactly like that. His followers love him more than they even love Jesus, I think.
Hyperbole. But now seeing how they're responding to actual innocent kids being attacked.
They don't care that he's all over the Epstein files. They don't care. They still support him.
I genuinely believe that. I believe that these people are done. They are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They need to be gone, bro. They need to be going to a different country, a different planet.
Sure.
Because we can't live around people who are trying to co-sign abusing the youth.
And we have to make that, clear that we're saying they need to go to another place, okay? Because then Lucas is going to get blamed for some assassination in the future. He said that they needed to be gone. Well, he meant out of the country, okay? Political violence is not the answer.
They want to talk about transgender. They want to talk about the LGBT propaganda. I hear you, but all of that.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to,
I don't want to hear anything from a conservative ever again about trans women in bathrooms. I can't because at first I was on your side to the degree of, okay, I have daughters, I have small children. I get where you're coming from. Okay. I hear you. And it makes sense on a level. But when you get to to protect in PDF files, then I know you're full of shit. You don't give a fuck about kids. This ain't about kids for you. This ain't about women's rights for you. You don't give a fuck about that.
All of that. Oh, they're abusing the kids. They're trying to, brainwashing them.
Yeah.
If you believe all that, but then when we have a whole bunch of evidence
right.
of what people were doing on an island of trafficking these individuals, women and children.
It's terrible.
And you don't care about it anymore, you can miss me with that nonsense, all right? You can miss me completely with that nonsense.
You're full of shit. You didn't mean any of it. That's what you're revealing.
A distraction.
Just ridiculous.
This whole Epstein files thing, a little bit played out.
Played out. Rape victims is played out? Huh? Minors being trafficked and then abused is played out? And then you say you worship Jesus. You are literally the spawn of Satan. You are an evil banshee from the pits of hell. You are terrible.
I think it's a moment in time where it should be a sobering effect on millions of people to understand that we don't have news. This is not news. This is mere entertainment / propaganda.
Yeah.
He's out of line, but he's right.
I never thought
I'm the news. Me.
Million years, listen to me, I'm being genuine. I never thought in a million years that when it came to uncovering a child trafficking ring, that there would be a United States president who would say, don't worry about it.
Because it's a Democrat hoax.
What?
It's just a hoax. The whole Epstein thing is a Democrat hoax.
What?
How?
They ran on, hey, we're going to release the files. We're going to release the files.
Right.
Dan Bongino, freaking Cash Patel. Oh, we're going to get to the bottom of this. We know that that's not what happened to Epstein.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list.
Oh, wow. Maybe you should let your vice president know that it's a Democratic hoax, because the vice president is saying we need to release the list. The current FBI director, fucking this guy, what's his name again? He's stupid. Remind me. Fuck. Cash Patel. I don't know why that. It's because he's so dumb.
Say that the FBI has.
I know who this guy is. This is Benny Johnson. He's gay, actually, allegedly.
Epstein's list, they're sitting on it. Why is the FBI protecting the largest scale pederast in human history?
Right.
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list?
Some governments around the world may have some material that's related to the Epstein thing. Bill Clinton was knee deep in this, man.
So that was a fucking lie.
Right.
As soon as they get sworn in, as soon as they sit their butts in the chair.
Yeah, you see, once they realize that Donald Trump is probably in the Epstein files more than anybody, all of a sudden it's a hoax. It doesn't matter. It's not important. It's played out.
Well, yeah, that is the story. That's what happened. He did it to himself. That's what happened. You got Pam Bondi. Yeah, the files are on my desk. Well, I meant that metaphorically speaking, and bruh, this should really show you that America is really no different than a lot of other countries.
Sure.
And I mean,
yeah, if you think they're not disappearing people in America, you're crazy. The American government is incredibly corrupt. There is no doubt about it, but it's not unique, right? This is how a lot of governments are.
that in a way not to say, oh, I hate America. I mean that in a way to say, like, the way many Americans view America, we should probably take a few steps back. we should probably just be a little more calm and sober with our understanding of how this country is run. Because really the only difference is it's not in the public. You may go to Russia and other places, and if you do something, they'll execute you right in the public, right?
That's not happening. I don't think they're doing public executions in Russia. Let's find out. So they don't do public executions in Russia. And apparently, according to them, the best information we have, no one has been executed in 28 years. 29 years.
And if you do something, they'll execute you right in the public, right? They'll chop off your head in the public, like, hey, this is why this person is getting their tongue removed. This is what's going on. In America, they're a little more, I don't know, it's a little more entertainment, right? Oh, Princess Diana got in a car accident. Oh no, he ate some bad tuna and died. Oh, that's so sad, right? That's where we are. And leave it to Trump to really even remove that veil. The emperor is butt naked and they're telling everyone he has clothes on. You have Jesse Waters saying that, hey, why do we care about old emails?
What?
For a party that claims to care about affordability, they sure waste a lot of time on old emails.
You don't need to see his identification.
I'm sorry, what? You're saying literally.
You don't want to know if the president was involved in the abuse of underage girls? You don't want to know that? You don't think that's important?
Almost. The same thing that people were talking about when it came to Hillary Clinton's emails, okay? The same thing.
Yeah.
What do we care about emails? Like, so what? What does it matter? That's what they're saying. But the big difference is that this has to do with children, fam. This has to do with trafficking. And they're trying to downplay emails, bruh. From regarding trafficking.
Yeah.
You have Trump in one of the emails talking about, hey,
Hillary Clinton's emails were so important, though.
He may have, gave some sloppy top to Bubba. I don't know who Bubba's referring to, but what you mean you giving sloppy top to Bubba and they got videos of this and it's like, hey, does Putin?
Yeah. Apparently Trump gave Bill to Lewinsky. That's what they say. That's what that email seems to be suggesting. A commenter said that Bubba is also the name of one of Ghislaine Maxwell's horses. So he was definitely talking about one of those two things in the email. Yikes.
Trump giving...
Just a sick world we're living in. Sick people.
Because you have even Epstein talking about, hey, this guy is the worst thing ever. He's talking about Trump. Now, how bad do you have to be for a child trafficker to say that, hey, you are the worst thing ever, you ain't got a good cell in your body?
Pretty bad.
What?
You got to be a pretty terrible person, I think, for Jeffrey Epstein to be like, yeah, no, you are evil. That's like Satan calling you evil.
And you still screaming MAGA?
Yeah.
Huh? You know what?
It's because it's a cult.
When I see stuff like this, it leads me to a dark area, bro. It leads me to a dark area. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not surprised. We see what people in cults do, bro. They'll kill themselves. They'll kill other people, right? They don't give a fuck, right? Because it's the cult, and it's scary. It's scary, but I understand it. So it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. It's scary how far people in a cult can go. That's what's scary. But this is like, yeah, it makes perfect sense. These people, they have no morals. They don't have any, there is nothing there. They just follow the cult, right?
It's like, it seems that all the conspiracies that people are talking about the government and how they planted this and how they did that, and how blackmail is so important and such a viable means of leverage, it's starting to, it's starting to feel like a bit real, okay? Because I think we all forgot what happened to Matt Gaetz. And the person he was messing with was 17. And she was trying to get braces. This chick was selling her body to get braces,
God damn it.
This is where we're at. And you saw the cover they tried to do for Matt Gaetz. When I think about all this trafficking, okay, when I think about the Epstein and everything, you can't.
That's fucked, dude. Holding braces over the head of a 17-year-old girl to get sex out of her, you're foul.
Tell me that people in Congress, okay, our representatives don't know anything about this. Damn. You can't tell me that many of these people, whether Republican or Democrat,
bro, these guys are fucking sick, man. These guys are fucking vile. A 17-year-old girl, to me, literally looks like a child, bro. Like, I've noticed as I get older, young people, really young people under 20, they all start to blend together. It's getting hard for me to tell the difference between like a 17-year-old and like a 15-year-old. It's like they all just look like children to me. You know what I'm saying? And so when these guys in their 30s and their 40s, they go after 16, 15-year-olds, they're PDF files, bro. They're PDF files. They like children. They like children, bro. Because that's what you look like. You know, of course, I can acknowledge there are some girls who go through puberty early, and so they're 17, they're 16, they're 18, and they have more of a woman's body. But it's in their eyes, bro. It's in their eyes. They have the eyes of children. It's hard to explain. You have to wait till you get to my age. You'll know what I'm talking about. You feel me? Nothing's grown about them at all. At all, bro. And so these men, they're fucking sick.
The same people who are aiding and abetting this trafficking. Damn. It's like George Carlin said, it's a big party. You're not involved. I don't want to be a part of this party, to be honest with you. I don't want it to have anything to do with that. I don't want to be on the same block of this party. But Trump is such a white ignorant that he knows that, what are you going to do? What you going to do? They can't do anything because they go to the same parties that I'm going to. They doing the same stuff that I'm doing. So they ain't going to do anything against me. And what are the American people going to do? Y'all not going to do anything.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Unless you about that revolution, unless you really about that 1776 life, shut up and dribble.
Come on, man.
And it gets to the point where you have Megyn Kelly. She goes on.
Megyn Kelly is a soulless harpy. You have to understand that. This woman has no soul.
And I don't know, man. I'm flabbergasted, bro.
I'm not.
I get if you want to, rub elbows with Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and the conspiracy and,
right.
and, they got Charlie Kirk. I get that, right? It's all for clicks. It's all for money at the end of the day. Money makes the world go round. But to the point where you're trying to downplay Epstein, because that's exactly what she did. She tried to say, I have on good authority. I have people who know all about the case, not everything, but a good chunk.
As for Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything.
Okay.
What can anyone say?
Who is that? I know a guy that knows everything. Thank you. Now everything you're about to say is more legitimate. Before, you were just going to say a bunch of shit with no evidence, nothing to back it up. And I was skeptical. But now that you told me that it's coming from somebody you can't tell me who they are, but they're reliable, I trust you a lot more now. I feel like there is actually some substance behind what you're about to say, because you've given me literally no more evidence than before, but for some reason it now sounds more convincing. Okay.
To her, once she says, well, I know somebody who knows in on the, about the case. You can't ask her for a source, right? Well, who are your sources? She's not going to tell you who her source is. And you can't deny that, well, you don't know these people. Yeah. Who are you to say that, right? Who are you? She's Megyn Kelly. You can't tell her what she knows, who she knows and who she doesn't know. So she's already set herself up in a position where you can't dispute what she's saying. Yeah. It's a similar tactic that Candace Owens goes and does.
But what she's about to say is so vile and nasty, it doesn't matter. She's fucking evil, dude.
All the time. Well, I know, I have it on good account from people from TPUSA, and yet, regardless, she goes on and says, well, that Epstein really wasn't into children, right? He was more of into a barely legal 15-year-olds.
And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person.
She's about to defend Jeffrey Epstein. She's about to explain why Jeffrey Epstein wasn't a pedophile. Okay.
His view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type.
Barely legal type. No, he wasn't.
He liked 15-year-old.
15 is barely legal to Megyn Kelly.
Girls.
Stop it.
Right. Guys, do you understand that the barely legal means legal, but barely? You can't, 15 is illegal. 18 is legal. If you just turned 18 yesterday, you would be barely legal. Legal, but barely, because it just happened. Do you get that? 17 isn't barely legal. It's illegal. It's actually illegal. 16 is more illegal than 17. 15 is more illegal than 16. None of those are legal. Legal starts the moment you turn 18. So barely legal would be like I turned 18 10 minutes ago. right? Like this girl was 17, you had her sat on your bed, and you wait till the fucking the shit hit midnight, and then you go and you do your shit. She's barely legal, but legal. Very big difference. She is describing a 15-year-old girl as being barely legal. She is super illegal, actually. She's not barely legal. She's not almost legal. She's actually super illegal. That is 15. She is trying to paint 15 as like a gray area. No, it's not. A gray area might be she turns 18 tomorrow. That might be a gray area. I don't know if we should send a dude to prison because he slept with a 17-year-old girl who is turning 18 tomorrow. Do we send him to prison? Maybe because he's a groomer. We have to look into his history. Why are you in a position to do this? Maybe he's 19. Then not a big deal. Even 20. I wouldn't say that's a big deal. 20 years old. She's 17. She turns 18 tomorrow. I don't think that's a big deal, personally. That's a gray area. You know what's not a gray area? 15. 15, super illegal. Yeah. It's like as illegal as 14, in my opinion. I think anything under 16, you're a PDF file. Anything under 16, you are like for sure a pedophile.
Get some help.
Now, pause for a second. I'm unaware in anywhere in the United States of America,
right,
where a 15-year-old is considered barely legal.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know what the heck she is talking about.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not even a funny situation.
Yeah.
But when you refer to a 15-year-old as barely legal,
yeah,
boo-boo, we should be checking your hard drive.
Right.
Okay? We should be looking at your phone records. That's what we should be doing. Okay? She should be under investigation. But the problem is, who's going to investigate her? Kash Patel?
Yeah.
Dan Bongino, who's all in on the official story for Epstein? Is that what you telling me? Damn. What do you do then? Huh? Who watches the Watchmen? Who police the police? The police? Right. So that's already a red flag right there because a 15-year-old isn't barely legal.
Yeah.
That's illegal. Okay, boo? 18 would be barely legal,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. You see, for it to be barely legal, it still must be legal. It's just barely legal. So you gotta cross the line of legality to even be in the realm of barely legal. 15 is super illegal everywhere. There isn't a single state, to the best of my knowledge, that where 15 is like the age of consent. I think the lowest we go in America is 16. And we need to change that. It needs to be higher. It really does.
18-year-old would be barely legal. Anything before that, you are illegal.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. I find it very fascinating that the same people who can tell an illegal from a legal when it comes to citizenship, when it comes to birthright, now all of a sudden when it comes to age, they're like, well, what's really legal, okay? What does this mean to be an adult? What does it mean to be a child?
Yeah.
And I'm like, y'all sound eerily, familiar.
A 15-year-old cannot give consent. It's not possible. At 15, you're actually still like a baby, bro. You might be. Most of my audience that watches this channel is between their mid-20s and their mid-40s. That's the grand majority of the people that watch this channel. But I know I got some youngins that watch this channel too. Understand this, you're 15, you're literally still a baby. Goo goo gaga, I promise you. You might feel like you know shit, you don't know anything. You're actually, where's your bottle? You're still a little baby. Okay. You can't give consent to an adult man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how easy it would be for someone more mature, man or woman too. It's because you don't get it. You don't understand life yet. You don't understand people yet. You always have exceptions to the rule. People who have to grow up and mature early. But for the most part, you're 15, you don't know shit. Really.
To what you said the Democrats were trying to push was the whole MAPS, right? The minor person attracted persons. Y'all sounding very, very similar to them. And it's a little off-putting. Not gonna lie, it's not a little, it's a lot.
Brother,
You're hypocrites, but you're not even hypocrites for the benefit of the country. You're hypocrites to the detriment of the country, to the detriment of millions of children. Moving past that, as hard as it may be, it gets worse. Because then she goes on to say, well, he was more attracted to like the teens who could pass as if they were younger, but when you looked at them, they looked like they were legal.
And I realize this is disgusting.
What? That doesn't even make sense.
I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this.
You are making an excuse. Why are you bringing it up? Why are you talking about it at length? What was the point? The whole point is to try and make Jeffrey Epstein seem like not as bad as of a guy, right? Okay.
Giving you facts.
That's exactly what you're doing, right?
That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young.
Well, that's good. That's nice. That's good that he wasn't into fucking literal like babies. That's good. Let's all round of applause for Jeffrey Epstein, who wasn't into having sex with prepubescent girls. Allegedly, apparently. I don't believe that. I think he was probably into that shit too.
Teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal.
So what is a teen that could pass for younger than they were? So a 14 that could pass for younger than they were would mean that's a 14-year-old that looks like maybe a 12-year-old. But now she's saying, but also looks legal. In what world do 12-year-olds look legal? Listen to what she's saying. Listen to how actually, I have to use this word, retarded, what she's saying is. You know, I don't like using that word casually because I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, offend people who have mental impairments. But this is actually something a retarded person would say. Like, listen.
Like 8-year-olds. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds.
He wasn't into 8-year-olds. All right.
He liked the very young teen types.
The very young teen. What's an older teen? Older teen is like 17, 18, even 16. But really 17. Yeah, 16, 17, 18 older teens. The younger teens then would be what, like 13, 14, 15. Okay. All right. So he's into 13, 14, 15. Okay.
That could pass for even younger than they were.
That could pass for younger than they were. So what does a 13-year-old who could pass for so younger than they were look like? 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds. So he's into 10. He's into babies. He is a pedophile. Megyn Kelly just said Jeffrey Epstein was essentially into young girls that looked like they were about the age of like 10, 11, 9. That's who Jeffrey Epstein was. Okay.
But would look legal.
But would look legal. How? How does a 13-year-old who looks like an 11-year-old look legal where? This is how you know she's actually a soulless harpy that isn't actually saying anything. She's literally evil.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Right.
Now,
yeah. We are all now dumber for hearing that. I apologize.
Me this, Batman. What the hell is she talking about?
Yeah.
What is she talking about, fam? We need to put a hat on her with a question mark because she is a new Riddler. Because that makes no damn sense.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. Barely legal, which doesn't even make sense to begin with because you're talking about a 15-year-old. So a 15-year-old who looks younger, right? They look younger.
The very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were.
But you're saying they can pass as an adult? They can pass?
But would look legal to a passerby.
How does that work?
Right.
How are you a child that looks to be an even younger?
It doesn't. It's actually just pure idiocracy. It's pure stupidity. It's literally like uncut, undiluted, pure fucking just being an idiot. You don't get that level of purity these days often, you know? Well, if you watch Fox News, it's actually too much. The supply is too much, but Right. For normal people, you don't get that level of uncut, pure stupidity often.
Child, but from other people, you look like you're illegal.
It's like that. That actually made more sense than what she just said.
It doesn't even make any sense. What she's saying doesn't even make any sense.
Right.
They're just, and the lady next to her, she
basically just said 1 + 1 is 443. She literally just said that.
Whole Star of David on going,
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm.
Not one point in time did you say, Megan, can I interject for a sec? I don't think that's what you mean to say, right? I think you probably have misspoke, right? Nothing. She's just co-signing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. Wow. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to edit all of that out. So it's okay. But I'm glad I got it off my chest.
And then they tried to joke about Pam Bondi. And it's like, you're trying to discredit Pam Bondi, not about releasing the Epstein files, but you're trying to discredit Pam Bondi to run cover for Epstein. That's what she was doing. She was trying to say, well, Pam Bondi, said that, he did this and that. And, I can't trust Pam Bondi.
And it wasn't until we heard from Pam Bondi that they had tens of thousands of videos that for the first time I thought, oh, no, he was an actual pedophile. I mean, only a pedophile gets off on young children abuse videos. She's never clarified it. I don't know whether it's true. I have to be honest. I don't really trust Pam Bondi's word on the Epstein matters anymore.
And like, wait, what? So when Pam Bondi said that this man had this, and it's all documented, you can't trust her on that. Of all things to not trust her on, that's one thing you can't trust her on.
Yeah.
This is, it's making sense. I don't want it to make sense, but it's making sense, fam. It's really making sense. And I'm not gonna lie, her having to start.
They're demons. They are demons. Actual demons from hell.
Of David all out in this conversation is not a good look, boo-boo. I don't know how to tell you this, but that's not a good.
It's not. It actually isn't a good look. And I used to believe that Republicans and conservatives agreed with me on that. I used to believe that was one place that conservatives and liberals and progressives, we all stood hand in hand and say, yeah, I can't stand you. I disagree with your positions on everything. But one thing I know is if you as a conservative and me as a progressive person, we see some like little innocent child, defenseless child being abused or being bullied or something, we're both gonna be like, no, the fuck, you're not doing that shit. And we'd stop it together, right? We'd like, unite. Apparently not. Apparently it's just the progressives now that actually give a fuck about children and give a fuck about kids. Yeah, wow, Megyn Kelly, truly a banshee, bro, straight out of hell, demon. But you guys let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace out.